Welcome back to the Mix Academy. I'm David Glenn with themixacademy.com, and I'm here to help you take the good, the bad, and the ugly of home recordings and deliver hit records. Today, we've got a first look. We're going to be checking out the Sonible Smart De-ess. We kind of put it through its paces a little bit, try to get comfortable with it, and we're going to break that down. But I'm a huge fab filter guy, so we're going to put this up. I like Sonible. I love the stuff they've been coming out with, but I'm going to put it up against my go-to, which is a Fab Filter Pro De-ess. We're going to look at the stock Pro Tools de-esser, see do you even need a premium de-esser, and then if you stay till the end, I've got my kind of go-to when one de-esser is not enough. I'm going to show a little bit more of an advanced de-essing technique, and we'll show that if you stick with me until the end. But I tell you what, if you haven't already, we're featuring Linkin Park Paper Cut here on the Mix Academy, and I've done a full mix of it, got my hands on the Multitracks, and I broke down my entire mix. If you like what you hear, I'm going to show you every step of the way that I've done in this mix to give a professional mix. And then we've got custom drum samples that I created and used in the session. You're going to get those all for a simple $20 donation to my medical campaign. I'm raising money for recent cysts they found on my brain, trying to get into the neurologist, and I appreciate your help with that. Links in the description. Moving on, let's see what we got with Smart De-ess. So if you're familiar with Sonible, you'll know that they've got some really awesome plugins and some great things happening over there. Smart De-ess is no exception. We've got the same type of AI technology. We're analyzing the voice. It's going to give you a basically one click of a button, and you're probably going to have something just about every time that's going to be usable. And then the beautiful thing is for us professionals or those who like to get hands-on and control freaks, and we like to, tweak things, tweakers, you got plenty of control and ways to shape the de-essing, the sibilance, and control that. And as well, I love that they've included the ability for us to control plosives as well. Let's see what we get. So we have highlighted, anytime I'm de-essing, I'm going to go and I'm going to highlight a section where there's multiple S's in the song. And so we can just get in and get out, hit the de-esser, and move on and make a decision. So I will say, if a de-esser, I pull it up, Fab Filter Pro De-ess is my go-to. If I pull that up, I dial in the way that I normally do, highlight that section, and it's just not enough, that's where I'm going to make a decision. Am I going to break out the S's? Am I going to clip gain them? Or am I going to pull out my fancy advanced technique that I'm going to show you at the end of the video? But moving on, let's check out the Sonible Smart De-ess. We're going to hit... and it probably would be appropriate to highlight like a whole section. Maybe we'll go halfway because there's more sibilance at the end of these phrases. We're going to hit Analyze Voice. We're going to hit play and see what it comes up with.
My head, it's like I can't stop, but I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath my skin.
Okay, so it's giving us something here. And we're going split band mode, which is going to split the top end frequencies from the stuff below the crossover that we set, which right now is set at about 3K. I may lift that up, but what do we have? Let's take a listen and see what it gave us.
My head,
let's come back out here and highlight.
Can't stop, but I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside.
It's like the
face inside is right beneath.
Let's go. It's like the face inside is right. We'll highlight that and let's take a listen.
It's like the face inside is right. It's like the face inside is right. It's like the face inside is right.
All right, so it did a great job. I really like that it didn't kill the S's completely. Too often, and I'm guilty of this, you get to where you're focused on, if you're mixing the snare drum, you make this awesome snare drum sound, but it doesn't fit the mix, or it's too chunky, and you get it back in context, it just doesn't work. With de-essing, sometimes we get to where we just soften them so much, you put it back in context with the mix, and it's too soft. You lose emotion or passion from the singer. And in this case, we got Chester, God bless him, rest in peace. He's got a very articulate, aggressive vocal here. We don't want to take away from that by softening him too much. And I think it did a great job controlling without crushing the S's. And so let's have a play with some of these controls and see what we can come up with. I want to be more aggressive and then kind of dial it back from there. Let's put the mix knob back at 100. Let's dial in. So we got suppression. So this is how much gain reduction, I believe. Let's go ahead and make the shape a little more strong. Let's just go all the way, I tell you what, and we'll leave it at balanced. And then we got maximum gain reductions all the way. Let me set it.
It's like the face inside is right. It's like the face inside is.
So that's obviously too much. We've given the singer a lisp, but that's exactly what I'm going for, because what I like to do is either use the controls to get aggressive and just annihilate the S's, and then use the mix knob and back it off. Let's try that.
It's like the face inside is right. It's like the face inside is right. It's like the face inside is right. It's like the face inside is right.
That's a beautiful way to do it. So get super aggressive with it and then back off the mix knob. And now we got parallel de-essing. So that's one way we can do it. Let's also try, we'll put it back at 100%. And let's come in here and kind of dial back on these controls. You know what would be awesome is if we could link these two controls. And then you wonder if you can. Can you just select? No. So that would be kind of cool is to kind of pull them back together. But let's check this out.
It's like the face inside is right. 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 It's like the face inside.
I like that, but I still feel like it's killing them a little bit too much. So that's where I'm going to come over here to the mix knob.
It's like the face inside is right. It's like the face inside is right. It's like the face inside is right.
Inside, face inside. Yeah, so that's much better. I'm digging what we're getting there. Great plugin. It's incredible. I really like what's going on here. It obviously is doing what it says on the tin, and it's given us a plethora of options here to deal with that. Maybe we look at the plosives in another video, but I do want to look real quick. Why would you pick up, it's another de-esser, right? Why would you pick up the Sonible Smart De-ess? Well, if you don't already own the Fab Filter is $169. The Sonible is what, almost half that. So we got $90. You're saving some money, and you've got a de-esser that's going to work. You can get to know it. If you don't already have a premium de-esser, by all means, I think that the Sonible Smart De-ess is the way to go. Let's say you already do have the Pro De-ess. Should you switch over? I don't know. I think that, also the Slate is a good competitor for that. The Eosis is a great de-esser. At the end of the day, what are we talking about here? We're talking about de-essing. You want to make sure you don't screw it up, you don't crush them, and that you control them. Do we need all the earth-shattering techniques to, sometimes, let me be real. I've got a buddy, shout out to my man Jairus, one of the best voices I've ever heard. I grew up making music with him, and just an incredible talent. But his sibilants, we would do the pencil trick, put it on the around the transducer, rubber band that to control the sibilants and split it away from the transducer. We would do a double pop filter. We would get into recording it. We have him look away, the mic. The dude's S's are cutting through no matter what we do. And I remember having to split them apart. We've tried everything. And for me personally, that's one of those where maybe you do need a more advanced de-esser. Maybe that's where Smart De-ess is going to shine, is where you have a singer where their sibilance is. You need these extra controls where you can really get in and fine-tune them. Now, no slam on the Pro De-ess. I love that it's got the split ability and all that, but you certainly have more control and more ways to manipulate the S's with the Sonible. So there's one case for it. You know what? Let's go over here and let's try the stock de-ess. Well, why not just use your stock de-esser? And this isn't Studio One. We're not in Logic. I don't know what their de-essers are like. But for Pro Tools, this is a great de-esser for when you just need a little bit of de-essing and you just got to control it a little bit. You don't have a super sibilant singer. And I say that because I was just messing with it before going live with the video. And take a listen to this. You lose a lot more than just the sibilance when you're dealing with this one. I've got it set to high frequency only. We're going to do the same thing, about 4K and above. And we're going to make the singer have a sibilance, and then we're going to pull it back.
It's like the face inside is right. 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 It's like the face inside.
You lose mid-range. Like, man, we're losing a ton of mid-range. Now, I know I have this drop down a little bit lower, and I've got it pretty aggressive, but this one, while simple and kind of to the point for sibilants, it's not a big deal. That one for me was like, okay, we're kind of sucking the energy out of the mid-range of the vocal. So what do we got? First impressions, I really like it. I think it's a great tool. I'm excited that Sonible sent it to me. I'm going to be able to try it out, maybe give you a better review further down the pipe whenever I've had some more time with it. Pro De-ess has been my go-to. Is it knocking it off? No, not today. But if you don't already own the Pro De-ess, like I said, what did we look at? As my dog's freaking out over there, the Fab Filter is 169. The Sonible is 89. So if you don't already own one, man, I would definitely recommend picking up the Sonible. make it your go-to, get familiar with it, read the manual, watch the videos, learn how to use it, and make music. But let's put that away, and I have one more technique that I was going to show you guys. This is going to feature the fab filter, but you could use any multiband, and I almost wonder if there's some of this going on behind the scenes of the Smart De-ess, because I can feel how much more natural it is without a ton of effort. The Fab Filter Pro MB. So pick your multi-band of choice. I don't know if the others are going to allow you to do this external, internal sidechain feature here, but let's say you have some sibilance and the singer, it's just not working out, man. You've de-essed it. You've maybe manually pulled down the S's and you're still getting some harsh sibilance. One trick to avoid what that stock de-esser was doing, it was cutting out stuff here in the mid-range. We want to avoid that. We want to make sure we can retain the character of the mid-range. As I go to delete that and no right click. And so a cool way to do that, so let's say a problem area is typically kind of in that 3, 4, 5K range, 6, 7, all the way up. And so what we want to do is we want to be able to de-ess that range, that kind of 3 to 5K range, without losing the mid-range. You really want it to focus on the S's. Well, if you use a multiband or most de-essers and you select that range, it's going to be pushing. It's going to be a challenge to get the threshold set perfectly so that it's not interrupting mid-range frequencies. That can really pull the vocal back some. You want it to stay on top. And if you just start compressing here against this range, 3 to 5K, you're going to lose some of that forwardness of the vocal. So what's a way around that? Well, with the Fab Filter Pro MB, we come over here and we've got this top shelf and we can compress against that. But then here's the trick. We can set the internal sidechain, select that. So instead of an external, like you might be dealing with a kick and bass kind of relationship, we set an internal sidechain on this guy here. And we, instead of letting the compressor react to 3 to 5K here, 3 to 7K in this case, we're going to have it react to this top band. So 7K and above is where this is going to be reacting to. So it's going to be compressing the range that you set here, that you see. It's 2.6 up to 7K, but it's not going to be reacting to 2.6 to 7K. It's going to be reacting to the band above, and you do that here by setting your sidechain frequency filter. So I'm a little bit off. It is early morning, but forgive me. So 7K and above, 7 whatever. So if you've got sibilance up in that top end and you've got some just kind of bothering you here in the 4 or 5K range, go ahead and set this filter. And then with the internal sidechain, you're going to be able to compress against that without it looking to that, which is going to prevent it from pushing your vocal down and removing some of the upfront feel that you've got going on there. So here, let's check that out in solo.
It's like the face inside is right. 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 It's like the face inside is right.
So big difference there. We're controlling the sibilance, but we're not losing that mid-range of the vocal like we did over here with the stock. Hope you guys dig that. That was probably the worst explanation I've ever given for that technique, but I think you get the point. If not, drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Hey, if you want to get your hands on the Linkin Park paper cut Multitracks, I've got them hosted on my secure server, and I've done a whole mix. It's more than just getting your hands on the Multitracks, although I know a lot of you guys would just love that. But I've done a mix breakdown showing my use of drums, bass, keys, processing, the guitars, automation, man. I did a ton of automation, really went all out, trying to feature a great mix here for you guys. So $20 down, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.